Welcome back to RetroFat. My name is Jeremy, and I'm guessing you ended up here if in one of two ways. One, you subscribed and I popped up in your feed, or you Googled just the 10 of us or something along those lines, and you came across this. I am, first of all, so grateful for everyone who has subscribed and has commented. Clearly, there is a desire to watch this, even with a fat former cancer patient, Power Ranger obsessed dork offering reaction and commentary during it. Thanks. I am so grateful for those of you who are watching, who, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. My goal is to get through all 47 episodes of this series in the next 43 weeks, because I've already done the first 4. So today we are starting season 2, which this was when the show shifted to Friday nights on ABC. This episode, first of season 2, number 5 overall, is called Strangers in the Night. It was directed by Dan Gunselman and written by Kevin Abbott. And here we go. This show was one of the first shows of TGIF, but TGIF didn't officially start until season 3. So anyway, let's get to the show.
Thanks. I had a great time. Oh, and don't turn on your headlights. Louis doesn't have a brain. Big deal.
Having a good time, Wendy?
Will you look at this shoe? Now Cindy's going to have to buy a new pair.
You borrowed them. You should pay for them.
Well, is it my fault that some thoughtless person left water in the sink? Where's Dad?
Where he always is at this hour, watching the Morton Downey Jr. show.
Atta boy, Mort. Give it to him. Rub his face in it.
Good. Well, good night.
It's a little chilly to be rolling around in the grass with some football players, isn't it?
Is your opinion of me so low that you think I would sneak out in the middle of the school night just to roll around in the tall grass with some boy I hardly even know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I happen to be wearing this grass in my hair as a fashion statement.
If you are ever given a chance to defend yourself in a court of law, don't do it.
You think you are so smart, don't you? Well, what makes you so sure I was out with a football player?
You're still holding his Letterman jacket.
Oh, Connie, please don't say a word about this to anyone.
You can count on me, Wendy.
Oh, thanks. Anytime you want to borrow Cindy's clothes, they're all yours.
Can I count on you to do my laundry chores for a week?
Oh, you little snot bucket. Daddy!
Shouldn't you senoritas be in the sack?
Oh, you're so right. I'm going back to bed. Good night.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a shoe in the sink.
Look at that, Wendy. A shoe in the sink. How did that happen?
Next time you're going to do this, let me know. I got some sneakers that could use a good cleaning.
All right, a few things to comment on here. One, this is the relationship that we largely see Connie and Wendy have throughout the series. So I think even at the start of season 2, those roles were solidified. I also think we see a few elements later on that show that, like for instance, Cindy's lack of intelligence, that she gets that from her father, who sometimes isn't always the sharpest one around. And then lastly, and this is something that someone commented on, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name, but one person commented on a previous video that every single line of the opening credits is a cliche, and it really is. So listen to the lyrics. I actually like this theme song, but every line is just it's an over-the-top cliche.
It's a race and I know I can win it, 'cause I'm learning the rules of the game. If I can stay on the ball, take it minute by minute, I just might make the Hall of Fame. What can I say? I'm doing it the best I can. Leaning on nobody but me. Oh, seeing it from where I stand. Nothing comes easy. Oh, I'm always bringing home second places at the end of every one of my days. A house with all of the bases that keep me doing it the best I can. Yeah, I'm doing it the best I can. I'll keep on doing it the best I can.
You've got to make sure to call a baby.
One more thing to point out, baby Melissa has been born. Elizabeth will no longer be pregnant. And I'll be honest, when I was a kid watching this on ABC for the first time, when I realized the baby was there, I was sure I had missed a few episodes, because at the end of season 1, she was still pregnant. And, well, now we have the 10th member of the Lubbocks.
The last thing I want to do is get pregnant. Which is another reason why I'm considering becoming a nun.
Wendy?
Graham, we don't have time for that now. It's 6 minutes till 8.
Oh, ready? Play it out.
Wendy, let's be real. Let's take it out.
Well, maybe I understand sex more than you think. Probably not.
I really do think Connie had some of the best comedic delivery of a lot of the actresses. That was, I don't know. I really got a kick out of this.
Honey, it's 5 till 8.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Surprise inspection. No.
Can I go to the can?
You sure? And take Sherry with you.
What?
Sherry, what your daddy means is that you don't have to go through this degradation.
Oh, please, can I be degraded like everybody else?
Yeah, sure. If it makes you feel better, get in line.
Goody. Honey, it's 4 till 8.
Elizabeth, are you going to be announcing every minute for the rest of our lives?
Is it irritating?
All right. Skirt check. Assume the position, ladies. All right, Connie, very good. The hem just touches the floor. Cindy, good. Wendy, will wonders never cease? Marie, this is more than I could ever hope for.
I like to preserve the mystery.
What about my skirt, Daddy?
Oh, yeah, well, you're just fine until you reach puberty. Sorry, Coach. Just the starting pistol. Hey, it's fast. All right, people, settle down. I'd like to introduce myself.
That is a joke that did not age well, much like the skirt check. 1988 was a different time.
I'm Coach Lubbock. I have some rather sad news for you. It seems that your teacher, Mr. Geyser, after winning a very large sum of money in the California State Lottery, phoned Father Hargis this morning from Jamaica and retired. But I have some rather good news, trying to cut through the gloom here. Until further notice, I will be his substitute. I think I'm gonna cry. All right, let's pick up where Mr. Geyser left off. It seems that you were gonna have a discussion of Othello. So, who would like to begin? And so, what have we learned today? Peterman.
Jealousy leads to the destruction of what you love. Blind trust is as bad as no trust, and don't mess with Coach Lubbock.
Okay. Tomorrow's assignment will consist of each one of you... Hold it. The skinny kid in the back with the peach fuzz. Stand up. Let me narrow this down for you a little bit. The one I expect to stand is the one that tried to pass the note.
Hey, it wasn't my note. I just found it on the ground.
You won't mind reading it for the whole class.
I swear, I've never written a note in class. I don't even take notes in class.
Read it.
But
Read it. Read it. No, you don't. Peterman, read it.
There's spit all over it, sir.
Well, it could have been a lot worse. Read it.
While you were looking at those worn old pictures of Lisa Bonet and her chicken, I spent 2 hours last night up on Old Johnson Road doing the lip tango with the hottest Lubbock babe. What's that word right after babe?
Just look at it.
Well, this is obviously a lie.
A lie?
Now, do you want to destroy this or should I?
Destroy it? No way. This is evidence.
Honey, spreading false tales is as bad as creating them.
Well, it's our daughter's tales I'm worried about.
That note means nothing. All boys lie to impress their friends.
Wrongo. I never did.
Oh, so that story I heard in our senior year about you and Susan Leeper was true?
Of course it wasn't true. It was a complete and total... You heard about that?
Yes, I did. And I think that word that you were searching for is that thing that men never do. Lie.
Look, I've taught hundreds of classes. I've handled thousands of kids. I've taught at 2 schools. Well, maybe I could have left that last part out. All of this has got to count for something. Look, I've got to at least try to finesse a confession out of Wendy or Cindy. Well, I mean the guilty party. So what do you say? You with me on this?
Well, the vow was till death do us part, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, don't push it.
I hold in my hand a saliva-stained note. Yuck! On this note is a name. One of your names. The name of someone who did something last night that they weren't supposed to. Now, you have a choice. You can either admit what you've done, which we already know, or you can remain silent, thereby compounding your crime.
Assuming this isn't just a tempest in a teapot.
Elizabeth, this is why Columbo works alone.
Thanks for ratting. I didn't tell him anything.
All right, I'll give you a hint. The person I expect to stand is the hottest Lubbock babe. The one who snuck out of the house last night, went up on Old Johnson Road, and made out with a boy.
Oh, my God.
The bathroom.
All right, go. Enjoy. Take a magazine. All right. That's it. I'm counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.5.
5. Wait a minute. You're telling me all three of you were out last night parking on Old Johnson Road?
Must have been a big car.
That was a pretty good line. Sherry and JR had much more focus in earlier episodes before the Lubbock Babes kind of took center stage.
I think I'll go now.
This isn't right. I mean, this is one big mistake, right? I mean, this is one big silly misunderstanding that we're just going to laugh our heads off about. Aren't we?
Just tell us his name is on the note.
No, I know his name was on the note. Your father was just making that up. Well, there. See, Graham? I told you they were innocent.
Now, wait a minute. Each one of you stood up for a real reason, and I want to know what it is.
Marie, honey, do you know anything about this?
Only that you shouldn't blame yourselves. You did the best you could with what you had.
Pray for us.
I will.
No, I mean now.
All right, now I want to know what this is all about.
Cindy? All right, Mom, I'll tell you the truth, but you're not going to believe it. See, I didn't sneak out anywhere last night. The only reason I stood up was because, and this may sound like a stupid reason.
I think we can count on that.
The only reason I stood up was because you said that this bad thing had to do with the hottest Lubbock babe, and I do have my reputation to protect, so I just figured...
Cindy, zip your lip.
Wait a minute. Come to think of it, your new sweater has grass stains all over it, and I found your pink shoes soaking wet.
What? Thanks a lot, Wendy. Just see if I lend you my clothes next time you're desperate to drive some hunk wild.
Is this true, Wendy?
Which part?
All right, Cindy, you can go.
I just think that something should be said about borrowing a person's property and returning it.
Now!
But those are really, really expensive shoes. Ouch!
Thank you. All right, Wendy. We know that you stood up because you're guilty of sin. Constance, what did you do?
I was merely engaged in a little social intercourse.
Dad, we were talking.
For a second there, I saw you in a whole new light.
This will not be the only time that I think Connie specifically uses the word intercourse in a way that promotes extreme reaction. I think she does it once more with Marie. And while I'm paused, I also have to say this is the Cindy that we have for the rest of the series. And I think the roles from season 1 have been dropped, and we're going to see what starts to play out through the end of season 3.
Frankly, I don't see what the big deal is. I was just spending a little time with another human being, one who happened to be male, sitting in his car on a country road, holding each other, staring at the moon, and asking the essential questions.
I know what those essential questions are, and the answer is no, not until I'm married.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me that there was no kissing whatsoever?
When we put a sock in it. So let me get this straight. You're telling me there was no kissing whatsoever?
So what if a kiss or two was exchanged?
A kiss or two?
Ma, they were kisses, not from the lips, but from our very souls. It was nothing cheap like you would do.
Cheap? Hey, you got lucky, I got talent. I really don't see the difference.
Wendy, out! Where the hell do you think you're going? Sit down.
All right, now who was this boy?
Jeff.
Jeff who?
Jeff from school.
Jeff from school who?
I don't know.
Graham, she doesn't even know his last name.
At least I know my guy's last name. It was Harrison. Or was it Harrigan?
Shut up, Wendy.
Well, just for the record, I would like you to know that she was not the only one who talked last night. I did plenty of talking with Bill. Or was it Phil?
Okay, that's it. Both of you up to your room.
This is so unfair.
And what are you waiting for?
Just for the two of you to agree.
And I see that you do.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just not all that comfortable talking about all this sex business.
Oh, I know, honey. You aren't even that comfortable doing it.
Right. But well, why can't kids be just like we were? Stupid, scared, and ashamed. Maybe it's time we put some good old-fashioned, honest, healthy terror into them.
Well, I do know that they are two very different girls.
No, we are not giving up until we get an answer. Hey, stop it. I'm praying here.
No! Well, Connie, all I'll tell you is that I had an intellectually exciting and emotionally satisfying experience.
Yeah, but did you have fun?
What Cindy is trying to ask is, did you make out with this clown?
A shallow, simplistic question from a shallow, simplistic person.
Yeah. So what's the answer?
All right, girls, I'll tell you. Hey, you guys.
Now, Sherry, they're having a private conversation.
Go on. I thought you were praying for my soul.
It was a short prayer. Go on.
Well, my time with Jeff was a time of sharing. The stars, the sad song of the lonely crickets, the night breeze cool against our skin, and talk, real talk about life and philosophy and how the world will probably be annihilated before we're 20.
I got a hickey.
Why am I talking to you?
You want to see it?
Your father might. Downstairs.
You wanted to see me, Daddy?
Yeah. There's some things about boys and girls you and I have to talk about.
Dad, I've already had your sex lecture.
Yeah, well, obviously the hockey analogy didn't sink in. Sit down. So, I suppose I'm going to have to cut to the chase.
Chase? Ooh.
Just listen. Now, I'm going to have to use some words here that you don't usually hear in mixed company. Dating is like a baseball game. Girls are on one side, and boys are on the other. Except in the game of dating, girls are only allowed to play defense. Now, every boy dreams about knocking one out of the park. And when you sneak out late at night without telling us, you're not only giving that guy a big leadoff, but you can't call in your big righty if he happens to hit a bloop single. You gotta think of them all as Casey at the bat. And it's your job to make sure that there's no joy in Mudville, ever.
So where is this Mudville?
So we kissed a little bit. A natural convergence of our incredible spiritual passions.
That's his word.
Basically?
Basically.
Well, I said them, but he nodded.
Well, what did he actually say?
He said he thought I was a total babe. Okay, he didn't say much, but it was the way he didn't say it, Mom.
Honey, is it possible that you had an intense emotional and intellectual conversation that he just agreed with?
Mother, you are trying to turn something sensitive and beautiful into something Wendy would do.
No, honey. I'm not comparing you to Wendy at all.
Well, I sure hope not.
Because what you did was much worse.
What?
Wendy's just a little wild, but she doesn't get all wrapped up in these guys. Connie, you put your heart on the line.
So you want me to be more like Wendy? Fine. Schedule the lobotomy.
Look, I want to make you a deal. You can make all your own decisions. But before you act on them, I just want you to promise me that you'll come and talk to me first. Just give me a chance to make sure you're seeing correctly.
So, you mean I can basically do whatever I want? I just have to talk to you first?
Right?
In person?
Right. So if the quarterback is trying an end run, I should let my backfield handle it.
No.
I should call a timeout.
Forget sports altogether.
Well, what if I just promise never ever to do it again? Or something like that.
Dad?
Wendy, it's time I let you in on a little secret. You see, God has given fathers a very special secret gift. You see, whatever you're doing, no matter where you are, God lets me know what you're doing.
You're putting me on.
Nope. So, you don't have to promise me anything. You see, wherever one of my little girls is holding hands, I'll be there. Anytime one of you is in the back seat of a car with a boy, I'll be there. Or if some boy is spouting off in a locker room about any of you, I'll be there too. And deep inside, you'll know it. Every time you turn around or look over your shoulder, you'll swear you see me ducking behind a telephone pole. And when you start walking again, you'll swear you hear my footsteps behind you close enough to hear your every thought. For example, right now you're thinking, boy, if this is like true, I can't get away with diddly.
So I have Connie's word that she'll talk to me before she does anything disgusting or deeply meaningful.
Not too bad, honey.
So, how'd it go with Wendy?
Well, with Wendy, I took a slightly different approach.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm kind of ashamed, but what the hell? I told Wendy that I have some sort of a sixth sense, and that I can tell what she's doing whether I'm around or not.
And she believed it?
Uh-huh. Well, the old coacharoo is quite a trickster. Cindy, what the hell are you doing up at this hour of night?
I was just making sure the front door was locked.
Well, get back in bed right now. The nerve of that kid. Maybe I do have a sixth sense. Maybe I can read minds.
Oh, honey.
No, wait a minute. Let's see if I can tell what you're thinking right now. I got it? Shut up, turn off the light, get back in bed, you sexy devil.
So I imagine there were several scenes cut from this. We also didn't even have the entire credits here. But we gotta make do with what we got. If I ever come across better copies, I'll certainly update these. But the show's hard to find. I'd say I'm lucky to have what I have. So, all right, that starts off season 2. This was not one of the best episodes of season 2, I think, but it was definitely fun, and I know it feels comfortable. So, stick with me. We have a lot more to watch.